What's up, everybody? Welcome aboard to Trading Live with Bubba for Tuesday, the 18th. Hold on one second. There's some issues with the new platform, so I have to help some other people at the same time. Quite a wild day. Let me share this with you. Okay. So on a day like today, you're getting some wild swings back and forth. I mean, the NASDAQ is moving 100 points at a time. On a big NASDAQ, that's about $2,000. On a little, it's $200. So you have to be prepared on a day like today, if you're going to get involved on a day trading basis, that there's going to be more risk, which is fine. I mean, there's no issue with the risk because, of course, the rewards will be bigger as well now. So right now, we don't have anything to do at the moment. A potential trade in the euro currency. We want to look at it, but you've got a big week this week. You've got NVIDIA earnings tomorrow. You've got FOMC minutes tomorrow. Jobs number Thursday morning this time to catch up. So again, you just want to understand the situation has changed from markets that were moving very slowly and grinding to markets that are whipping. Okay, and again, it's fine. It actually, we prefer this kind of action. But a lot of times it's hard to go from nothing to everything all at one time. And that's just what you have to be prepared for. So as we look, the one trade we'd be looking at right now would be potentially the euro currency. Let's just see if it turns. And the euro currency would be a buy here. And the stop would be 115.86. Okay. And again, you just have to be prepared that on the indexes, there's going to be more risk. You're getting the bars are much bigger, and because it's scaled, it's hard to realize that, but you get a lot more whip and a lot more swing. So again, it's good because it gives us more opportunity to make more money, and our risk from our point is going to be the same. Okay. But that also means that they move so fast that you can get stopped out faster. Okay. Because they're not slowly moving. They're moving very quickly. Okay. So that's just something you want to be ready to work for and look for. Right now, there's a potential trade coming in the NASDAQ and in the S&P, maybe the Russell. Okay. And again, you have to make the decision. Are you willing to take the risk that you have to take to do this? Okay. So again, these are things as a trader, you have to think about and make sure that you are comfortable with what we're doing and what's going on. That is just, again, when Jesus, now my whole computer just shut down. Are you there, Luis?
Yes, I'm here. Are you there, Baba?
Guys, my whole screen just shut down. Luis, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, everything shut down. Hold on a second. I think I have to reshare. Again,
Okay, sure.
I don't know what the fuck happened here. God damn. Just what you need when it's busy. Hold on one second. Let me just get myself organized here. I got a mess here. Hold on. Sorry, guys. Not exactly what we need when we're busy. All right, anyways. So we're in the euro currency if you took it. But again, as I was saying before, I was so rudely interrupted by my crazy screens, is that you have to be prepared that there is potentially more risk. Okay. But there's also more reward. It's a good situation for us because it gives us better opportunity. Okay. So it gets back to where we were and see what we're doing. Okay. So our euro currency is about break even, nothing to really talk about. And again, like I said, there's some big news coming out. So that's what we have to be alert for too. It could be some dramatic changes. I think I look at the markets and I say the top is in, but just because I say the top is in doesn't mean that A, we're going straight down, and B, doesn't mean you can't have a substantial rally. I mean, to me, the new high was put in at 68.75, which was below the high that was put in at 69.50. So all it means to me is that as long as we don't violate that on the upside, so I'm looking to sell rallies when I get the opportunity. I'm looking to sell into this market because I do believe the tops are in. But again, that doesn't mean that I won't get long. It doesn't mean that I won't make trades. And of course, each stock is also independent itself. So that doesn't mean that you won't get opportunities to buy if you want to buy, okay, or sell if you want to sell. But again, from a longer term perspective, I look at this as the potential tops are in these markets for now. But again, it doesn't change the way I trade. I still trade off the same charts we trade off all the time. Okay. And I still will buy markets that are oversold, and I will still sell markets that are overbought. But my overall lean from a short-term perspective would be to be a seller into rallies. Now, the rallies have to be somewhat substantial. Okay. And they're not just because the NASDAQ rallies, let's say 10 ticks, that doesn't make me a seller. I have to have a reason of where and why I am deciding that this has become a sell. And I hope that makes sense to everybody. If you have any questions, you can always ask me. Certainly the chat bar is open. But as I was showing you here before we got so rudely interrupted, this is a high. Now, if we make another, if this becomes a new high here, okay, then it's just a lower high. So I would expect before we see any real bounce, probably another couple hundred points down in the S&P. Okay. That's how I'm looking at it. But again, I'm not going to just sell because I think the top is in. I'm going to do the same thing we do all the time. And as we look at Apple, for example, Apple, I have no trade, no matter what side I want to be on. And as you continue to see, last week we mentioned to watch that 270 level. Well, we're still in touch with 270. It hasn't got crazy on either direction. So it's, again, something we look at. Amazon's been under some heavy pressure. Nothing really to do at the moment. We did sell it a couple of weeks ago. But once again, I'm in the middle of nowhere from an overbought, oversold situation. So I really don't have anything to do right now here. Coin, very much oversold. We have a position on which is losing right now from last week, from Thursday. I would be willing to put on another position going into a week from Friday. So into the 28th, which is obviously also, some of you may not be working then. That's the day after Thanksgiving, Black Friday. But if you want to look at it, I would sell like the 265, 262.50 put spread for $1.05. Okay. And I've got a pretty long position in coin anyways, based on that we're so oversold anyways. Again, this is what I'm looking for when you hear the market 120 in the morning and you hear what's going on. These are the things I'm looking for, is markets that are dramatically overbought, oversold. Okay. In conjunction with the trading that we will do on our normal. Okay. Our euro currency, if you're in, is a small loser at the moment. Okay. Because we blacked out, we missed a little bit of a buy in the S&P and the NASDAQ, one or the other. Again, that happens, and we're not gonna worry about that, because again, if one trade is gonna make a difference in my life, then I'm doing something wrong. Okay. But we don't have much going on right here, right now. So we'll go back to the main boards and crowd. With all the selling, it's not quite to a level. I would think if it gets down to, the 500 level, that would be a spot to look to be a buyer. And when I mean say buyer, normally my first trade is to sell put spreads. Okay. Before I want to commit, I want to make sure, because when you sell a spread, you don't have to be right. You just can't be dramatically wrong. And that's something that you need to look at. You don't have to be right, but if it sits there, you make money. if it goes a little bit against you, you make money, and you have a limited risk and a limited reward trade. So that's something you would be looking for and looking at. Okay. Ether, very oversold as of yesterday. Certainly, if you're a crypto believer, this would certainly be a hell of a play down here, in my opinion. I own it anyways, so I give you full disclosure of what I own. I not only do I own it in my long-term portfolio, but I own it also as in a trade, which I've got a weighted double diagonal, which started out as a neutral trade. It's now short, but I've lowered the shorts down to make it long again and taken some of the credit off the table. Okay, that's something that we always try to do. Make sure we take money out when we can. Okay, I'm still in. Okay, and actually, my exact position right now in Ether is, hold on, I'll tell you exactly what it is. Okay, hold on one second. My exact position in Ether is I'm long the stock. I'm short the straddle, 33.34 straddle for a week from Friday. Okay, I'm long in December. I'm long the 35 calls. I'm long 132 put and 122 put, which I rolled all the way down and taken the credit out. So basically, I own this trade for free right now because of the credit I was able to take out. Now, obviously, I need a big long move to get out, but I can adjust. If I want to roll my extra put down to 22 as well, then I open all that upside back up. Okay. And of course, we all know what's going on in the crypto space. I mean, it's been pretty much, this is considered a bear market. And of course, if you trade Bitcoin, this is very oversold. Probably a pretty good spot to step in for a trade. I don't know that it'll bounce hard from here, but probably a pretty good place to step in for a potential trade. And then where were we? Meta, we're getting killed here. We do have a trade on here. This is going to be a loser. I mean, we're not getting killed. We're going to lose. We sold it for $1.10. We're going to lose $1.40. Okay. I mean, there's still a chance it could come back by Friday, but highly unlikely. I would not expect this to come back, but you never know. Google didn't quite make anything. There's really not much to do here. INOQ kind of stuck, but again, very oversold. You're starting to see a little bit of a bounce. It's always something to pay attention to. IWM, very oversold. This would be one you might even want to sell put spreads for today if you have belief that there could be another big rally. Now we've had Friday, Monday, and today, all significantly lower in the morning. Okay. Now, for Friday and Monday, we had big rallies late. Is it possible that, again, to me, it may be worth the risk if you want to do something there. Okay. MP, really nothing to do. Microsoft, very oversold. Certainly might want to look at selling some put spreads here. I already have mine, so I'm not going to add to them here, but certainly would look to sell the 487.50, 485. Monster, well, this was very oversold, and this was a great buy this morning, which I did buy it. I own it already, so it's not just that I just bought it, but I did add to it this morning. Again, you're getting a nice dead cat bounce. Now, whether or not this is real, obviously tied very much to crypto, tied very much to Bitcoin. Is it going to continue? I don't know, but I'm going to take off my long trade I put on this morning, probably by the end of the day, and take the money there. My long-term position, which is hedged, so I don't worry about it. You know, we do a lot of hedging at Bubba Trading. We've got an automation system through Tradier that measures, based on your own proprietary and your own preferences. You get to set your own preferences, and it rolls your positions up and down for your long-term stuff. So it's something to look at. Netflix, which we haven't covered in the past because it was really for most $1,000 stock is out of range, but now that they've split 10 for 1, it's one to look at. Now I'm just watching it now to see, but it's really in consolidation. NNE is certainly one to look at. I would certainly put on a position here and sell. Let's see here. NNE. And I would do this one for this Friday. Okay. 30.50, 29.50 for 35 cents. Yeah, I would do that. 30.50, 29.50 for 35 cents. I'm going to put that on. Nugget nothing for me to do. NVIDIA, we're not going to get involved with NVIDIA. They got earnings tomorrow after the close, so certainly no reason to get involved there. Palantir, getting to that point where it's very oversold, you may want to consider putting on some put spreads there. QBTS, and let's just go back here and see what's going on with our other stuff. Small loser so far in the whatchamacallit, in the euro currency, but certainly has an opportunity to come back. Not much else to look at right now. As I said, we did miss a couple of trades when I went dark for a minute, but again, it doesn't matter. I'm back to the bigger board and the longer term stuff. Qs are very oversold. Again, certainly you might want to sell some put spreads. Again, if you bake on the action we've had the last couple of days with these big sell-offs, again, it's probably worth the risk to sell a put spread and probably sell it for today. Okay. That's what I would look at. Okay. In fact, let me just look at it right now. Over here. QQQ 594, 593. Yeah, 42 cents. I would sell that right now. In fact, I'm going to. Hold on. Let's do it right now. Okay. SMCI, a little bit of a bounce. Maybe it'll hold. The SPY, very oversold. Another one you could look at for today. Again, this is you're potentially banking on the same action that we've watched for the last couple of days. Okay, and certainly, hold on one second here. I got to make one adjustment. Sorry, hold on one second. Got to make one adjustment. Okay. Okay, great. Okay. SPY, let's see here. SPY for today, 658, 657 for 45 cents. Yeah, I would do that. Okay. Again, I think that you probably will see a bounce. Again, if you're wrong, you're looking to pick up 45 cents or $45 and risking $55. Okay. I think it's better than even money shot. You'll get out and make a profit. So I think it's worth the risk. XYZ is breaking down. This is another one that we're losing money on it right now from our trade last week. Tesla was a big winner from last week. Hopefully you closed it. And that's pretty much the board. Zoom is getting close, so we'll see. But overall, again, we really don't have a lot to do right at the moment. We did find one trade and missed a couple of others. Sorry for the interruption on when everything went black and I got locked out. But just be careful. Remember, NVIDIA earnings tomorrow, FOMC minutes tomorrow, jobs Friday, plus all the other government data that we haven't got. So don't put yourself in danger. Put yourself in a position of limited risk. Right now, limited reward, unless you see something that you just absolutely have to short or something you absolutely have to buy. And we'll see you back here on Thursday. Remember, every day I do a market 120, which tells you what I think of the market before it opens. Have a great day, everybody. We'll see you later.
You know how the financial world goes. Here comes the buzzkill. Please make sure to take some time to read this boring disclaimer. We will owe you one.